Dear students, Salam Alaikum. In this video, we shall focus on the basic integration formulae. There are only 13 formulae which we'll be needing throughout the semester. There might be one or two more formulae. We shall look at them when those topics arise. But these 13 are the most basic formulae and they will suffice for almost all the purposes in this course of Calculus 2 Math 200. Now let's look at the header of the table. We have the serial number, the indefinite integral, and the reverse derivative formula. So we'll be using the basic idea of the fundamental theorem of calculus, which says that if you integrate a function small f, your answer will be capital F plus c, and by capital V means the uppercase or the big F. When you differentiate the capital F, you'll get back the small f. So this is the basic idea of the calculus which we have put in the header. Now let's look at the first formula which we have used before. Now x power n, when you integrate, we get x power n plus 1 divided by n plus 1 plus c. We cannot divide by 0, so n is not equal to minus 1. And for n equal to minus 1, we need a new function which we shall look at after some time. Now your small f is x power n and the capital F is x power n plus 1 divided by n plus 1. Now when we differentiate x power n plus 1 divided by n plus 1, we'll get the power decreases by 1, so we'll get n plus 1 minus 1, which is equal to x power n, and this factor will be out n plus 1 into x power n full divided by n plus 1. The n plus 1 will get cancelled and you'll get x power n. Now this is your first formula. Then we have a special case of the first formula where n equal to 0, you will get x power 0 equal to 1, x not equal to 0. Okay, 0 power 0 is not defined, so we'll get 1 dx. So sometimes this 1 is written, sometimes the 1 is not written. Here I have written it for your understanding. So integration of 1 dx is x plus c. This is the special case of 1a. In many books, they will just write the first formula and you have to figure out for n equal to 0. So there will be no 1b in some books. They directly give the 1a. Now the next formula, second formula, if you integrate sine kx, you will get minus cos kx by k plus c. The plus c will be written in all formulae, so we will not discuss it again and again. When we differentiate a number, we get 0. Now put it in the differentiation of minus cos kx by k. Now cosine differentiation is sine kx with the minus sign, it is minus sine kx into derivative of kx is k. So you will get minus into minus will get cancelled, that k will get cancelled, you will get sine kx. Likewise, when we integrate cos kx, we will get sine kx divided by k. K is a number, k cannot be a function like x or y or something like that. So it has to be a number and that number cannot be 0. We cannot divide by 0. So it can be any number, negative, positive, big or small. So integration of cos kx is sine kx over k. Now differentiate it and check. Derivative of sine kx is plus cos kx into derivative of what is inside. What is inside is kx. So derivative of kx is k. So that k and this k will get cancelled and you'll be left with cos kx. That's what will happen in all of them. You'll have to differentiate the argument. Derivative of kx is k into 1 equal to k. So this k will get cancelled in all of them when you differentiate. And you have to be careful about the plus and the minus signs. Now integration of secant square kx is tangent kx over k. Now if you differentiate tangent, you get secant square kx multiplied with the derivative of kx, which is k, and that k will cancel. Now this cancellation I will not mention in all the other formulae. We have understood it, we have used it in the classes before, so it's not something new. Now integration of cosecant square kx is minus cotangent kx over k plus c. When you differentiate minus cotangent kx over k, derivative of cotangent is minus cosecant square, minus into minus is plus, so you'll be left with cosecant square kx and k gets cancelled as explained to you. Now integration of secant kx into tangent kx is secant kx over k plus c. Now this k in the secant and this k in the tangent have to be the same numbers. If they are different, this formula will not work. This formula works when you have the same number in both of them. If it is 5 in first, it has to be 5 in the second. If it is 5 and 6, we have to need a new formula, which we are not going to do right now. If we need it, we'll think about it in some other semester. Now the seventh formula. You have integration of cosecant kx into cotangent kx. Now the answer is minus cosecant kx over k plus c. When we differentiate with the minus sign, when we differentiate it, we'll get back cosecant kx cot kx. Now these were your 6 trigonometric functions from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 6 trigonometric formulae here, which we have to do it. See, on the right hand side, you have all 6 of them. Cosine, sine, tangent, cotangent, secant, cosecant. Inside the integral, you do not have all 6 of them because we need some extra information to integrate the trigonometric functions, which we'll learn in next chapters. Next comes the 8th formula, which is integration of exponential kx. You'll get exponential kx over k. See, this is a very special function. You start with the exponential function, you get back the exponential function with the number. See, the numbers are adjustable. So you get back the same function. This does not happen anywhere else. Sine goes to cosine, cosine goes to sine, tangent goes to secant square goes to tangent. But exponential function is very special. You get back the special exponential function when you integrate it and also when you differentiate. The number will get adjusted. Now a power kx, when you integrate, you will get a power kx divided by k ln a. See, a is here e is a special number, so you don't have to divide by it. Here a is any number other than e, so you have to divide it. And the value of e you can get from your calculators. It is 2.718281828, and after that there is no repetition and it goes up to infinity. Now integration of 1 over x is ln x plus c. When you differentiate the logarithm natural, ln is logarithm natural. When you differentiate it, you get back 1 over x. Now here you have 3 inverse trigonometric functions. We do not need all 6 of them. I'll tell you why. When you integrate 1 over a square plus x square, you will get 1 over a tan inverse x by a plus c. You can also write minus cot inverse. Minus minus 1 over a cot inverse x by a. For 1 over a square minus x square under the square root, you will get sine inverse x by a plus c, which is equal to sine minus cos inverse x by a. So normally we go for the positive ones, tan inverse, sine inverse. We do not use minus cot inverse or minus cos inverse. Now the 13th formula is 1 over x into square root of x square minus a square. You will get 1 over a secant inverse x by a plus c. All 3 of them can be replaced by the other 3. Tan inverse will be replaced by minus cot inverse, sine inverse will be replaced by minus cos inverse, and secant inverse will be replaced by minus cosecant inverse. The c will change there. But since we are not calculating the values of c, it really does not matter. But if we are using, for example, cot inverse with the minus here, minus cot inverse, this c will be different from that c. But since we are not fixing the values of c, it is okay to just write plus c for the same c for both of them. Now the next formula is integration by parts. When you multiply two functions and try to integrate them, you need a new formula, and this we'll discuss in a separate chapter for 3-4 classes. Finally, we have the Leibniz integral rule, which will help you to differentiate an integral whose limits of integration may not be numbers. And this is the formula. We do not need it in the first part of the semester. We'll discuss these two things after a few days in detail. So what we have done in this video is 13 formulae. 1A and 1B will be counted as 1, and we have 13 formulae. These 13 formulae are very important. Memorize them. You should be able to recall them immediately, very fast with accuracy. And so just take a printout of these formulae, put them on your table, put them on the wall, put them on the door where you can see them regularly and frequently. That will help you to memorize. Write them down 3 4 times with seeing and without seeing. Inshallah, then you'll remember them, and the course will be easy for you because we'll be needing these formulae in every class, almost every class. Now, here there are two websites, one for differentiation on the right hand side, derivative calculator. On the left, you have the integral calculator. So you can check your answers from these websites. You can also practice your questions on these websites. Just put some function and you will get your integral and your derivative in detail with its steps. So please examine these websites. It will help you to see your integration with steps by two methods. They are using two different softwares, so they show two methods of integration. Sometimes they will be the same in simple questions, but in complicated questions they will be differing. So welcome to the new semester. Inshallah, we'll have an easy time. Just remember to memorize these 13 formulae. They are very important. That's why I've listed them separately in this video. See you soon, inshallah, in the next class.